This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're here at the weigh-in and delighted to be joined by the main man, Dee Walsh. Dee, there's not a card goes past at the moment where you don't just have only one fighter on the card, but it's multiple fighters. Does that obviously show the success obviously you're having in the gym, that so many fighters are obviously getting so many opportunities?
Yeah, big time. I think it's because obviously the hard work I put in, as well as the hard work that the fighters put in. There's not anybody in our gym that doesn't work hard, so we deserve these opportunities to be on big cards like this, in my opinion.
You've obviously grown up with Pody, obviously you and Pody and Rory Dalton, obviously in the St James's days. You've obviously known them in some time, but obviously Sean McComas sort of touched on it yesterday. It's sort of Pody's a people person and deserves these opportunities. It's probably not only for you as his coach, but obviously as his friend. It's a special moment for you and also for Pody tomorrow evening.
Yeah, big time. Like me and Pody, probably we would live closest to Falls Park than any fighter who's fighting. Then there's Conor Quinn down the road and Sean McComb up the road. But yeah, at the end of the day, Pody's a humble guy, hard working, and as I say, I've known each one my whole life, and it's a privilege to be training them, and especially on such a big card like this. And as well on top of that, his wife is my first cousin, so his kids are actually my cousins as well. Like, do you know what I mean? So there was a tight bond there, and it's amazing to see like how far he's came in a few years, and as I say, he deserves every moment this.
As much change, doesn't obviously we know Pody obviously is always down to earth, but obviously knowing he's obviously main eventing and obviously in a venue at Falls Park, it's very close to him. Obviously, has it put an extra step into him obviously the last few weeks? I know he said yesterday it's staying calm, staying composed. He knows he can knock people out, and obviously he's just looking for an opportunity. Steve Woodhall obviously isn't someone here, it's just here in the opposite corner. He's obviously a very slick boxer. He's spent a lot of time in America. Does that help compose Pody with like a sort of underdog mentality he always likes to have? How have you been able to ground him obviously with this? It's just business as usual?
You don't really have to do that with Pody in terms of how to talk to him and how to conduct himself. The guy is fighting tomorrow night is very, very good, as they have studied him for weeks on end before we even come up with a game plan. But Pody always boxes better against better opponents, and in my opinion, I would say this is probably Pody's hardest opponent so far, and so he needs to be on his game, and I know he will be.
I guess he's been used to them challenges, and obviously you've been in his corner for most of them. Obviously the Ellison fight, going to Germany, where he was expected to be the away corner fighter and get beaten, and he's shown that obviously the tougher the opponent, the better he is. Obviously a win tomorrow night, I guess, hopefully sets him in that mantle where he wants a final eliminator for a world title. You know, it could be the next person for Canelo after Charlo, we just don't know. But obviously for you, I guess it's being that man that keeps him composed tomorrow night and makes sure when he pulls the pin, he pulls at the right time.
Yeah, big time. Just even talking about Canelo, where like it's the stuff dreams are made of, like stuff that like would never ever would have thought was possible, and there's a lot at stake here tomorrow night. And as I say, Pody, for Pody say people say about Pody before, he always raises the occasion. Do you get me? So it's all about tomorrow night.
And obviously Conor and Jared as well, obviously on the card. Jared's fourth fight since October. You obviously weren't there for his initial one because you were in Germany, but obviously for Conor it's the sixth fight since coming back in September. This just goes to show you how much obviously boxing's building, not only in Belfast but in Ireland, when everybody in your stable can be kept busy.
Yeah, big time, and it's an absolute blessing, to be honest. When I turned pro, there wasn't anywhere near as much shows as this, and it just shows you how much the city is coming on in terms of professional boxing again. But tomorrow night, I fancy, as I say, two strong wins from Jared and Conor. The guy who Jared's fighting tomorrow night, Murph fought him a few months back. It was February, I think it was. So I know this guy. Like, studied him whenever Murph was fighting him. I studied him again whenever Jared was fighting him. And he's a hard nut. His record actually isn't as good as he is, if that makes sense. So Jared needs to be on his game, and then Conor obviously as well. Like, he's fighting a guy who's tough. So, but Conor is elite level in my opinion, and in my opinion, I think Conor's going to go down in history as one of the best Irish fighters, professional anyway.
He looks just everything comes to him second nature. You know, he doesn't really seem as if he nearly has to get out of second gear at this stage yet. I want to obviously finally touch on, obviously we had a mega fight obviously last weekend in Spence Crawford. I know sometimes you don't watch the fights live, but you sort of watch them afterwards. Were you sort of surprised at obviously how easy it probably was for Bud in a way? But I guess does that show that the jab opens the door to everything? Bud Crawford just sensational last week.
Yeah, I think the first round is like exactly how I thought it was going to go for about 5 rounds. I thought Spence won the first. But then couldn't believe what I was seeing. Absolutely amazing. It really was amazing for boxing too. You've got a superstar like him now.
It's crazy to think it. Obviously, you know, he's now a three weight, 2 division undisputed, 35 years of age. I know you'd picked Spence to win, but obviously it was one of them where you're going Crawford at 35. Is maybe fatherhood sort of catching up with him? But I was actually surprised he fought southpaw. And that obviously worked very well. He used obviously his strong right hand to just navigate anything Spence could do.
Yeah, it was brilliant, as you say. But I did notice that when Crawford goes up against southpaws, he fights southpaw himself. And what a fighter! He could have beat him. It looked like anyway that he really wanted to. He beat him with a jab. That Spence get a wee bit of confidence, and then he just set every trap he could for him. It was unbelievable to watch. Really was class.
Is he, in your eyes, is he, you know, pound for pound number one?
Yeah, 100%. At the minute, I don't even think anybody comes close to him in terms of that title. 2-time, undisputed, and Canal lost against Bivol, so it looks like he's took over. You'd
probably say the next challenger to that's probably Inoue. Obviously, Inoue probably went pound for pound one on Tuesday, and then obviously Crawford took it on Saturday. But I guess finally, we got to see some big fights. You know, I guess obviously the more of these undisputed fights we're going to see now, even better. Obviously, Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron announced again yesterday. Hopefully for Katie, it's a chance for redemption. Get obviously her to become 2-weight undisputed as well, and back at her position at number one and pound for pound.
That would be amazing, and then again that would mean there's more shows in Ireland too. Plus we would have the number one girl in the world, so it would be brilliant if she could get that win.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time as always. We'll obviously look forward to another 3 wins for the stable tomorrow night, and then we'll look forward to see who's getting announced on maybe in the next shows. Are probably 4 or 5 in the next one.
Hope so. Keep bringing them on.
Yeah, right, thanks for your time, Dee.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.